about bouncing back from a game that was so close, so tight, 1 point loss, long road trip home. How does the team bounce back from that?
Just got to hit the practice hard. It was a really close game. I felt like we played our hardest out there. A couple plays there that we left out there that if we would have performed, then we would have won that game. So having that fire, having that feel to come back out on the practice field and hit the ground hard. For the next game. Come out there and not make sure that our next game is perfect. So none of the plays that we regret is none of that's there anymore.
Does it say something about the conference and how good it is that an unranked Fort Hays State team, well, receiving votes at the time, and then went in on the road to the number 7 team, and it was a fight the entire way? Does it say something about this conference and how good it is?
Yeah, this conference is tough. Any team could put up a fight at any time. It doesn't matter. The rankings don't matter. What matters is the team, the players. The MIAA, I feel like it's the best D2 conference there is. So, you can't sleep on any team here, no matter what. So Missouri Southern's record doesn't show really how good the team is. So we can't go into this game with no respect for the team. We got to respect them. So.
Take us through the interception, the deflection, and the pick in the back of the end zone, what you saw and what you were thinking on that play.
Yeah, so previously in the drive, they had caught a pretty good fade on me. So, being a DB, you're supposed to have like a short memory, but I don't have a short memory. I'm a prideful guy, so it's like after you do that, something to me, I want to for sure get back. So it's like seeing that and then seeing the ball tipped up, I knew it was my opportunity to make a play. So, just dove for it, got it. I didn't think I was in bounds at first, so that's why people were shaking me, and I was just staring around looking for the ref, seeing if I had for real got in bounds, and then thankfully I did. So.
Yeah, was there any doubt when they went to review it that maybe it wasn't going to stand?
No, my teammates were telling me that I for sure was in bounds, so yeah.
Talk about Missouri Southern, if you've watched any film, kind of what you're seeing out of their offense.
So I've only seen a little bit of film right now. So right now I see that they have a pretty good running back. They have pretty good athletes on offense. Number 5, their tight end, really good receiver or tight end. Number 8, he's a good receiver, and their quarterback can make plays. So being our secondary, we have to stay locked in this game for sure.
A lot of teams in the MIAA seem to be trying to get the ball out quick, and I don't know if that's all the teams they play are just Fort Hays, but they get the ball out quick, so there's not a lot of time to get pressure on the quarterback. What does that, as the secondary, how do you guys adjust in order to be able to lock up with your receivers or whatever you're needing to do to combat that?
So basically get hands on, make sure that we're able to impede their routes, and then if we're playing off, move slower, watching film, anticipate what they're going to be running. So you got to see their get off, see how they're moving. So basically, you just got to slow them down.
Talk about the defense in general, just how you have evolved this season, because I know Coach was harping on physicality and just aggressive play, and it feels like that's hit home, and you guys are doing that now. Yeah,
so starting off the season, we for sure were not at where we wanted to be physically and then just in general. So each practice, him harping, and then each game, he's going through like from Northwest when we lost to them, seeing how we weren't physical enough, and then seeing how in UCO where we for sure weren't physical enough, seeing that. So we knew that we had to make a change because going through the season, the beginning of the season, we were not evolving as much as we wanted to as a defense. And, thankfully, we've been able to evolve and get to a point where we could say that we're proud of, but we're not there yet to safely say that we're the defense that we want to be. So
is a defense ever a finished product?
I wouldn't say so, because there's always something that we can improve on for sure. Like any aspect in the secondary, tackling, coverage. If there's not a 0 on the scoreboard every game, then there's improvements that need to be made. So
I've never asked this to a defensive guy before, and I've always wanted to, but I think you're the guy. There's not a lot of tackling drills that are allowed to be done now these days, live, one-on-one tackling drills because of the rules. Is it hard then on Saturday to show up and be like, hey, I'm gonna go hit this guy, and while you're not able to necessarily tackle all week leading up to it?
yeah, well, I mean, most of these guys have been playing football for years now, so it's like tackling at this point is whether or not you just have it or you don't have it. So at this point, we do work bag drills, which do help at some, like, a little bit, but it's at this point at college that it's either you have it or you don't have it. So
How does one get from Chandler, Arizona to Hays, Kansas?
that's a good question. My first visit here, it was January or February, and it was freezing. So that's something I was not used to at all. But thankfully, I met with Coach Brown, and I agreed with everything, the atmosphere he was trying to create here. So, really him bringing me into his family here, it was really him that brought me here.
Did you have to do some research on Fort Hays State and Hays, Kansas, or had you heard of the school before you were contacted?
No, I've never heard of it. Yeah. But, yeah, I did do some research. I seen how they were a winning team, and then meeting Coach Brown and seeing the type of man he is. It was kind of like the same atmosphere we had at my high school. So the type of atmosphere that I wanted to come to. So
Same question I asked Parker. What is game day like at Perry High School?
So we'd start off, we had to suit up going to class, not suit up, but like, dress up going to class, and then, wear our dress through classes, and then once it came close to the time for game day, sitting in the locker room, locked in, it'd be hot, so, we'd have to sweat it all out and then go and hit the field.
Talk about senior day and just what it will mean for you guys who've been through so much to try to end your final game at home on a win.
It means a lot, I've been here for about 4.5 years now, 4.5 years now, so it means a lot, especially for the players that I've been with throughout this whole journey, being able to win and then continue winning, it's a big thing.
Last year you were named second team MIAA, and we've talked about how good this conference is and deep this conference is. What does an honor like that mean when you receive that?
It's a big honor, but just me in general, I'm not really like an accolades type of guy, I just go out there, do what I do day in, throughout. So, doing my job and, providing for the team, doing what I can do to the best I can, the accolades will come with it. So, I'm not really too focused on that much, but, it was an honor to receive it though. So.
I got one more question because I'm enjoying this interview. So that's why we've got Grand Island Northwest, we've got Perry High School. There's a guy waiting out that's like less than an hour from here from Larned. There's guys from Hays, Kansas. When it comes to the game of football and just bringing people together in general, what makes it so special that people from all over can show up and play for this team despite being from all over the country?
It's crazy, because seeing people from Kansas come from Kansas to schools, the high schools they came from, and then from where I'm come from in the high school, I was from a 6A school, it's a big school, a different type of competition, and then coming here and seeing the competition in high school from Kansas was a big shock because it's totally different. But seeing the type of, like, the respect that like how their high schools are like one big community here is really a shock factor too, because it's not as much as a community type thing back in Arizona just because of how big the schools are and how close they are to different or closer communities. So it's not as like a bunch of people in one community. So it was a big shock, but it's a beautiful thing what football allows us to do.